Welcome back, guys, to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over the neuroscience behind getting motivated, like David Goggins or your favorite athlete, because a lot of those people have some crazy sort of motivation whenever they go to training. Actually, I like to think of Michael Jordan, Kobe, all those people. They had crazy training routines, and Cristiano Ronaldo. They were super duper motivated. How do they get that type of motivation to work out? And I feel like this video goes very well with the last video that I recorded that we'll be going over right now. This one will be about hand movement, and he'll go over how the brain can be made to think of training as a good thing and ways you can get yourself to really focus and push as hard as you can in training. And it goes with the last video, which is overtraining and how people sometimes can overuse it a little bit. And it gives you kind of like good estimate of where you should be in your training. It helps you need balance and everything. You can't just overtrain and not overtrain. You have to be somewhere in the middle. And this video gives you an idea. In combination with the last video, if you go watch it, I highly recommend, on where you should be at. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so here we are. We're going to be going over what Andrew Huberman here has to say. He'll be explaining to us how we can stay better motivated in our training routines and what his research that he's found from other researchers in his podcast. I love watching this guy's podcast. Highly recommend it. You can go watch it, Science Huberman Lab podcast on Spotify. It's a great place to find it. This guy, great guy, explains to us why we need to view the journey. It's all about the journey and not destination. Because if you get more motivated by the results in most of our things, and actually, I'll let him say it.
So you can tell yourself the effort part is the good part. I know it's painful. I know this doesn't feel good, but I'm focused on this. I'm going to start to access the reward. When we focus only on the trophy, only on the grade, only on the win, you undermine that entire process.
Exactly.
The ability to access this pleasure from effort is without question the most powerful aspect of dopamine. And the beautiful thing is it's accessible to all of us. Hard work is hard. Generally, most people don't like working hard.
Very
Some
true.
people do, but most people work hard in order to achieve some end goal. End goals are terrific, and rewards are terrific, whether or not they're monetary, social, or any kind.
It's typically what they
However, working hard at something
good for you
for sake of a reward that comes afterward can make the hard work much more challenging and make us much less likely to lean into hard work in the future. There's a classic experiment done actually at Stanford many years ago in which children in nursery school and kindergarten drew pictures. And they drew pictures because they like to draw. The researchers took kids that like to draw and they started giving them a reward for drawing. The reward generally was a gold star or something that a young child would find rewarding.
Learning how to teach younger people.
They stopped giving them the gold star.
Try to implement this.
And what they found is the children had a much lower tendency.
Many of you older folks out there, you guys can implement this when teaching your kids or your grandkids.
Now, remember, this was an activity that prior to receiving a reward, the children intrinsically enjoyed and selected to do. No one was telling them to draw. What this relates to is so-called intrinsic versus extrinsic reinforcement. When we receive rewards, even if we give ourselves rewards for something, we tend to associate less pleasure with the actual activity itself that evoked the reward. If you get a peak in dopamine from a reward, it's going to lower your baseline, and the cognitive interpretation is that you didn't really do the activity because you enjoyed the activity, you did it for the reward.
Exactly.
Now, this is the antithesis of growth mindset. My colleague at Stanford, Carol Dweck, as many of you know, has come up with this incredible theory and principle, and it actually goes beyond theory and principle, called growth mindset, which is this striving to be better, to be in this mindset of I'm not there yet, but striving.
You always want to be in that mindset where there's always something
the end goal
to work on.
That, of course, delivers you to tremendous.
Nobody's perfect, so the closer you get,
and over again, that people that have growth mindset
to get better,
performing very well because they're focused on the effort itself
will lead you to be better
all of
person
us can
overall,
cultivate
not
growth
just training.
mindset. The neural mechanism of cultivating growth mindset involves learning to access the rewards from effort and doing. And that's hard to do.
The process is the best
because you have to tell yourself, okay, this effort is great. This effort is pleasurable. Even though you might actually be in a state of physical pain
so when
from
it comes
exercise,
to it, it's easy.
I can recall this from college.
And you feel
like I wanted to get up from my desk, but forcing myself to study,
every
forcing
day,
myself,
working
forcing
yourself,
myself. What you find over time is that you can evoke dopamine release from
and things
the
come
friction
easy to
and the
to train
challenge
so
that
hard
you happen
on
to
whatever
be
you're
in.
training at.
You completely eliminate the ability to generate those circuits and the rewarding process of being able to reward friction while in effort if you are focused only on the goal that comes at the end. So if you say, oh, I'm going to do this very hard thing and I'm going to push and push and push and push for that end goal that comes later, not only do you enjoy the process of what you're doing less, you actually make it more painful while you're engaging in it. You make yourself less efficient at it, because if you were able to access dopamine while in effort, dopamine has all these incredible properties of increasing the amount of energy in our body.
The end result isn't
and in our mind, our ability to focus, yourself. But also you are undermining your ability to lean back into that activity the next time. The next time you need twice as much coffee and 3 times as much loud music and 4 times as much energy drink and the social connection just to get out the door in order to do the run or to study. So
you shouldn't
what's more
become dependent on all
is
those
to attach the feeling of friction and effort to an internally generated reward system. You're not just pursuing the things that are innately pleasurable. So you can tell yourself the effort part is the good part. I know it's painful. I know this doesn't feel good, but I'm focused on this. I'm going to start to access
it can lead to
find
that huge dopamine spike
the
internally.
Dopamine release inside of effort if you repeat this over and over again.
And that's
what's beautiful
a lot of runners get that.
Is that it starts to become reflexive.
They call it the runner's high.
Effort. When we focus only on the trophy, only on the grade, only on the win,
focused,
as the reward, you undermine that entire process.
Exactly.
So how do you do this? You do this in those moments of the most intense friction. You tell yourself, this is very painful, and because it's painful, it will evoke an increase in dopamine release later, meaning it will increase my baseline in dopamine. But you also have to tell yourself that in that moment, you are doing it by choice and you're doing it because you love it. And I know that sounds like lying to yourself, and in some ways it is lying to yourself, but it's lying to yourself in the context of a truth, which is that you want it to feel better.
Of course.
You want it to feel even pleasurable.
Hard things make you better.
Very far and away
Reading that
different
book will make you smarter.
From
training will
thinking
make you
about the
faster.
reward that comes at the end, the hot fudge sundae after you cross the finish line, and you can replace hot fudge sundae with whatever reward happens to be appealing to you. We revere people who are capable of doing what I'm describing. David Goggins comes to mind as a really good example.
Very good example.
Familiar with David Goggins, former Navy SEAL, who essentially has made a post-military career out of explaining and sharing his process of turning the effort into the reward.
Exactly.
The ability to access this pleasure from effort is without question the most powerful aspect of dopamine and our biology of dopamine. And the beautiful thing is it's accessible to all of us. But just to highlight the things that can interfere with and prevent you from getting dopamine release from effort itself, don't spike dopamine prior to engaging in effort.
Very true.
And don't spike dopamine after engaging in effort. Learn to spike your dopamine from effort itself.
Well, I recommend that you guys go check out Andrew Huberman. He has a lot of very interesting videos. A lot of people looked into this guy. They back all his stuff. I really like his videos. I think they're very enlightening. He has some very interesting individuals that go on his podcast that they know what they're talking about. They give you some in-depth information on whatever topic they're speaking about in that specific podcast. And yeah, recommend you guys go watch it. The key takeaways from this video, I'd say, are to focus on self-motivation. Try not to think of a coffee before you need to work out. You need your coffee before the workout. You need the banana before you work out. You need the apple before you work out. Try to think of you need to work out. You working out will feel better. You'll feel good working out. And then when you are working out, when you say you want to do 10 reps, tell yourself, why not 1 more rep? Why not 2 more reps? Why not 3 more reps? Why not? Just why not? It doesn't hurt. It's not going to hurt. Just do more reps. That's the type of mindset that you're trying to look for out of this video and what he's preaching in this video. It helps you grow, become better. Same thing with reading a book. Why not read 1 more page? What do you have to do? Let's sleep, then maybe you should go to sleep. But if you're not sleeping, what are you going to do after? Just read 1 more page, read 1 more page, 1 more page, 1 more page, 1 more page, 1 more page. And think of it as small steps, not as large steps. You have your mandatory, have to read 10 pages, but then why not read just an extra little page? Why not do that extra rep of exercise or set or whatever you want to do, whatever far you can push yourself. Since you don't want to leave anything in the tank. There's this famous quote from, I think it was Plato, and he says along the lines of, don't limit yourself. Use everything you have, push as hard as you can, since the saddest thing is to become an old man and never see what your body's what you're truly capable of. Since when you're older, you can't go back in time and make yourself younger, and then you'll miss out on what you were capable of doing when you were younger. So when you're younger, you have almost unlimited potential. Let's say that you're older, you don't have any potential. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the future, and I'll keep on trying to make videos. These commentating videos usually get more views than my regular videos, so I think I'm just going to keep on doing these. And let me know which videos you guys want me to review, go over all that other fun stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.